Chancellor's got a big problem facing her in the budget. It's the amount of money we owe as a country. We owe that money to people who've chosen to lend it to us by buying UK government gilts. That's people like pension funds, insurance companies, and overseas governments. But the amount of that debt is now around £3 trillion. That's the same as we make as a country a year in our annual GDP. Last year, we paid interest on that of around about £125 billion. That's just paying the interest, that's not paying down any debt. And that's more than our entire education budget. So where did that debt come from? Well, it came from years of government spending more than it takes in tax. In 2024-5, that deficit was around about 137 billion. But we've run deficits every year since 2000. We've had some years of mega deficits. In 2008 and 2009, we ran a deficit of 160 billion. And in 2020, fighting the pandemic, we had a mega deficit of 311 billion pounds. Now, you know yourself that there's good debt and there's bad debt. If you borrow money to buy a house, that's a good thing. If you borrow money to buy beer, that's definitely a bad thing. And it's the same with governments. We'll have spent some of that money productively by building roads, building nuclear power plants, building things that produce more in income than the interest we need to pay on the money that we borrowed to finance that building. But we'll have spent lots of it unproductively. Perhaps a good current example is the rising cost of paying personal independence payments. The first thing we need to do in a budget, if it's a forward-looking budget, is to recognise that we have to stop spending above our means. That's a tough challenge, but it's a challenge that we as a country should embrace. We need to stop spending unproductively and only spend on things that grow our economy.